Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Sorry. I don't do much of this stuff on my channel because this is my first time actually ever doing a coding tutorial, and I'm not a super good coder, but or programmer, I guess you could say. But I'm just going to walk you through the basics of making a simple role ball or player controller script. It's not by any means necessary, or it's not by any means good. It's just very simple, and it works, so that's what I want to show you. So let's start off with making a spear, or we'll call this player. Let's scale it up a little bit, and let's make a cube, and call that 4, like that. Alright, now that I have that, I want to add some materials to these, because they look kind of strange right now. So let's just add some materials. Let me move these up first. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to parent, or something like that, to the main camera, to the ball, so that way it's a little bit better to look at. So what you do for that, very simple, you just drag the camera into the player. Let's add a rigid body on the player, so you go player, add component, and rigid body. So that's that. That's just a very basic scene, just like that. The ball has physics. Okay. And what you're going to want to do for later stages, I'll show you this later in the video, is you're going to want to freeze the, you click on constraints, and you're going to want to freeze the rotation on the X, Y, and Z axis, and I'll show you why you do that later in the video. Alright, so let's go down to the project folder, create a new folder, just call this scripts. And let's create a new C# script. Let's just call this move, just like that. Let's double click that to open it. I'm using Visual Studios. You guys might have something else, but yeah. Okay, so I'll walk you through this. So these two things, these right here, these are just if you hash something out, so you just write that, and you hash it out, it won't run in the class or whatever. This is a class. Void start, that just plays at the start of when you click the play button, that just plays at the start of it. So if you typed in destroy game destroy game object, that would destroy the game object. Just click back into Unity. I typed it wrong. Of course I did. There we go. Destroy. And then you move the movement script onto the player. It would destroy the player. So the camera doesn't have anything because the player just got destroyed. And you can see right there too. So let's just go back into the script and delete that real quick. So this just plays at the start. The void update plays, I believe it's once every frame. I'm not 100% sure about that, but it plays like once every frame, I'm pretty sure. And using, this is just telling you what you're using. So if you wanted to add a new scene or like kind of like change a level, you would say using Unity scene management. But we're not doing that right now. We're just doing a simple movement. Alright, so here we go. We'll do public. Let's do rigid body, and then let's just rename that already. So public just lets you access it in the actual game engine, which would be right there. Rigid body is what the what's falling, and then RB is what you're renaming it. You're not going to put an integer in front of it because you want to select what this will be, what the rigid body will be. Okay, so let's go into void update. We're just going to write let's add another variable. So public again, because it shows up in the game engine, integer. An int is integer, and that, I believe that's any number from like negative 47,000 to positive 47,000 is what an integer is. Or you can use a float, which is any number you can do a decimal at the end. But an integer, I believe, has to have a decimal place. I'm not sure. Well, let's just do a float for right now. Float. Let's just call this num1 equals. Let's just start it off 10f. And you put an f at the end because I believe that's because it's a float. 10f. Okay, now let's go to void update. So we're gonna write a simple if statement. If input dot get key down key code dot space. Or I don't know. Never mind. We're not gonna do get key down. We're just gonna do get key. There we go. Get key. And let's just do the D key to start. So what this is, an if statement, is just like if something happens. So for example, if 1 is greater than 2 or than 2, it would, and then you put it in curly brackets right here, it would destroy game object like we talked about earlier. But that wouldn't happen because 1 will never be greater than 2. And okay, so we have this if input.get key down. The input is just what you're touching on your keyboard. Get key, if you're get key down is once you press the key down. Get key is just if you're holding it down. No, something like that. Okay, so put this in another set of curly brackets, just like that, and then you're gonna want to do RB because that's rigid body. It adds force dot add force because you want to add force to the rigid body. 0. This 0 0 and just start with 10. So this is XYZ. I don't think it's in that order, but this right here is XYZ. And you can do times time dot delta time. But since you guys aren't, or since you're not really putting out a professional game on rolling a ball, we don't quite have to do that right now. That's just so that way it updates better. Kind of like if you put it in a fixed update, that runs 50 times every single second. So we can just change this to fixed update real quick, because that's probably better. Because if you have a slower computer, update only runs once every frame, and if you have a slower computer, it's not gonna go as well. Or I don't know what fixed update is. I think it runs like, I think it's every second, and you can have bad Wi-Fi, and that would work. And you always put a semicolon after every single line of code, or it won't work. Unless it's a class like this, then you do 2 parentheses like that. Or if you're doing another class, or I don't know. That's not a class though. I don't know what it's called. So this is the simple movement. What you're gonna want to do is copy and paste this, because this, again, is super simple movement. There's definitely better ways to do this, but here, just copy and paste it again. Switch this out for A, and switch the 10. Oh, sorry, that's right. We made a function for that. Let's do num1 minus num1, negative num1, because it's going in the opposite direction. Num. There we go. Okay, so let's test this out in the game engine. Click up here to save your script. Go back into Unity. If you have errors in the console, you might have done something wrong. There's a script again if you need to see it. And let's test it out real quick. Hang on. So you need to see the rigid body. You need to drag the rigid body into this RB in the movement script right there. There it is. But as you can see, I forgot to add the materials. Let's do that real quick. So go into assets, create a material, just like that. Name it whatever you want. I'm just gonna name it ball. Drag that onto the player and pick any color you want. You can. I'm just gonna go with a purple. And you can make it smoother or darker or shinier, actually, like that. And metallic, you can make it dark and stuff, but I'm just going to go with this for now. I think that looks good. Let's also make a material for the floor. Create, or you can, create material floor mat. Drag that onto the floor. I'm gonna let's make this a different contrast. Like, it doesn't look good, but there we go. Got a material for the floor too. So as you can see, it's instead of when we press D and A, it's going forward and back, which we do not want. So what we're gonna have to do to change that is we could either rotate the ball or we can change the script. But rotating the ball is probably the easiest way to go. So let's just do that real quick. Unparent the camera just real quick, so that way we can rotate the ball without rotating the camera. Pretty sure that's 90 degrees. Let's see. Nope. Okay. Well, have it your way. Have it your way. We could just move the camera too. That works. Here, let's just do that. Alright. There we go. Make it flat so that way it doesn't do any weird rotations when we're moving it. Rotate it that way, like so. Boom, boom. Rotate it back. And then I just hold control to get those stiff movements like that. And then parent the camera back to the player, or whatever, like that. Alright. Now if we go back in, play, we press A and D. As you can see, it's going sideways. So, pretty easy fix right there. Let's go back into the to the script. What you want to do is you want to keep that copied. Control V again. Switch that to A. You want to switch that to, switch this to W. Switch that to A if you didn't, if that's why you're running. And we'll just change that to a 0. Change this one to a num1, like that. Or if you want to have it a different number for forward to back movement, you can just make another public float. You can go public float. Again, float is a number, another number, and you could do num2 equals, if you want a different speed, just say 15f, like that. And keep in mind, you change this in the game engine if you put it as a float and you put it right there. So change this to num2, just like that. Copy this so that way you can do it back here, because we changed where. Notice how we changed where this number was. We put it in the middle. And you Control V, num2. Make sure to make it a negative num2 and an S right there. And then we go back into the save it. Go back into the game engine. We should have a working. Oh, okay. So I guess I put it in the wrong spot. But you can also make that for jumping. But that could be pretty interesting. Yeah. Alright, here we go. Go back into here. Change this. I'll just change it for you. Be right back. Alright, there we go. Got it all changed up. So I just changed where it was. I put it on the far left, just like that. So now if we save it and we go back in, it should work. Compiling scripts. And we have a super simple... Oh, no, I almost fell. Super simple movement script. It's not good by any means at all, but I mean, it works, so that's what we wanted, right? Let's just up the speed a little bit. Let's change it to, say, 20 and 20. And if you want, you can what I like doing for Rigid's body is I like adding drag, just adding one drag, so that way it doesn't gain too much speed, just like this. And if you have the same problem I'm having, whenever you press F, it's going forward, and W is backward. That's a really easy change if you wanted to just change that to an S, and change this to a W, like that. Save it, go back in, and boom. Super simple movement script. If you want to add jumps, that'll be in the next video, because I'm running out of time here. So... thank you guys for watching, and if you want any more tutorials like this on game dev or little scripts, just let me know. Keep in mind, I'm not a actual programmer. I'm not by any means good. I don't know a lot of stuff, but I know simple stuff. Again, thank you guys for watching, and have a good one. Bye.